Hello, my friends. Welcome to episode 348 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and it's just me tonight, back to how it used to be way back in the day, just me talking into a microphone. I want to thank everybody for downloading and listening to the podcast over the past month. We've managed to raise over $270 for bodily autonomy groups who are doing the best they can in the wake of some pretty radical Supreme Court decisions. So we'll be happy to get that money out. As soon as Anthony gets back from vacation, he is gone enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And I've got to tell you, I played a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the Switch, enjoyed the gameplay, looking forward to getting back and playing some more of that. I made the mistake, maybe not a mistake, of looking at a lore video kind of that has been done in prep for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for people who want to review the story or for people who've never experienced the story and want to get into the Xenoblade saga. Man, that story is convoluted. There are so many fucking characters, so many things happening and going on. I was lost, and I thought, this is great. Normally that would be a bad thing, but I thought how great it was that it didn't make any fucking sense, because if I wanted to jump into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 out the gate, I feel like I've got enough of the story. I've understood as much as I would have understood playing the game, because there's a lot. There's so much. I probably would have understood it more deeply playing the games, but I think there's a good chance I'll probably jump into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 before the end of the year. It's been interesting this last week because Anthony and I have diverged on the RPG front. I picked up Live Alive on the Switch, and he picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And these are both games that I think we're both interested in. And we picked up the other one, and we are just texting each other, talking to each other about what we're enjoying about the game we're playing and kind of selling the other person on the game. In fact, Anthony sent me the battle music for the first boss fight, I believe, in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it fucking slaps. It's like it's like a hard rock with like a bunch of strings in the background, and there's like the sections just seem so different from each other, and the music just seems really engaging. And he said it really matched the boss fight, which is cool. So that music sounds cool. Looking forward to, jumping into Xenoblade Chronicles sometime later this year, based upon just the really positive feedback that it's getting from people. It's going to be kind of hard to ignore, at least checking out a first hour gameplay video and seeing if it's something that would be up my alley. Although Xenoblade Chronicles 1 has already been fun, so I imagine it's a refinement of that and maybe good eventually. But right now I am playing Live Alive, which was I think it was a 1994 release from Square. Might have been Enix, but I think it was Square. That never got translated, never got released in the West, so it never got translated to English. And it's a game that some people worked on before they moved on to Chrono Trigger, which, if you've listened to the podcast for a while, it's one of my favorite RPGs. Played that for the first time on the 3DS, actually. So I was, with the buzz and the reviews that came out for Live Alive a couple weeks ago, I decided I would pick it up. It was $50. So, a little bit of it's not really a budget title, obviously, but less than the 60 that you usually get for new releases. And I was just finishing up Stray and wanted to line up the next game, and I'm glad I did, man. Live Alive so far, I've only played 2 of the vignettes. There are 7, I believe, and you can kind of attack them in any order you want. I decided to go with Imperial China, the Kung Fu master, Earthen Heart Shifu, who's looking for his 3 disciples to carry on his legacy after he passes away. And it's about a 2-hour story. And then after that, I did Modern Day, which is totally different. Like the Imperial China, you are roaming the countryside, kind of doing a few battles to pick up experience, to train your disciples. You pick them up and you kind of move through the story. It just feels like a typical SNES RPG, which, by the way, I am so into right now, because I think just because of this game. But man, I am falling in love with the Switch all over again. And just playing the SNES era RPG with the beautiful sprite work. It's the 3D or the 2D HD that Square Enix is doing right now. That's just I'm feeling nostalgic for a game that I'd never played. I'm feeling like I want to play Mana again. I want those fucking pixel remasters of Final Fantasy to come to the Switch. I just want to keep digging into what other like the 2D RPG pixel art games there are for the Switch, because this is just it's fucking my jam right now. Anyway, so that first one's kind of like that I picked. The Imperial China was like an RPG, and then I went to modern day and expecting kind of similar gameplay, different character, different story. No, it is set up like Street Fighter, where you have a series of 6 characters and you're trying to be the best fighter in the world, so you attack them all one by one using the same battle system as in the other one, which is like a grid-based, strategic, pick a move, pick an attack that you have. So it's not like the Street Fighter 2 gameplay. It's set up like a strategic, grid-based, turn-based RPG. But the conceit of the modern day is that you're trying to bait your opponents into attacking you, so that when they do, you gain their move. Basically, you're collecting their moves, and then you can use those moves on future, characters in the lineup to defeat them more quickly. So by the end, you're just a badass character who's picked up 2 moves from all 6 characters. So you got 12 moves, and then you get a final cutscene with another big boss and defeat him, and then that story's over. That was probably 45 minutes or so. So there's 7 vignettes. They're all different gameplay. There's some that have no battling at all, some that have no dialogue at all. It switches it up in such a satisfying way. Like, if the whole, I hear it's like a 20-hour game. If the whole experience was the same thing in one of those 7 vignettes over and over again, it could overstay its welcome or get boring, perhaps. Perhaps not. But because it switches not only gameplay, but how the game is presenting itself, what tropes it's sort of turning on its head. So far, I fucking love it. It's really, God, I don't know, different. It's it's a 94 game, and it's 2022, and it feels fresh, which is just surprising as shit to me. So I'm really excited about it, and I keep thinking about just the run of games I've been playing lately, where I played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then I jumped into Red Dead for a little bit, and then I jumped into Stray and beat that, and now I'm playing Live Alive. All in the heels of putting 80 hours into Elden Ring and feeling like I got maybe just halfway through Elden Ring. And I'm in a place where I'm really enjoying the smaller gaming experiences. Like, I want to get into a world and get out. And that's what was so exciting about Stray, is for me, it's probably a 5.5 hour experience. Loved it, with the caveat that you have to like adventure games. And I think you have to like cats. Like, the main character is a cat, and the story is engaging. You're learning about what happened to these humans and why these robots are here and such. But it's presented in such a way that it's a not glorified adventure game, but it's a slightly updated adventure game. And if you're not liking the point and click, find random items to give to an NPC to progress a story, that's not really going to be the game for you. But it was the game for me, and for 5.5 hours, it was perfect. And then I could move on to the next thing, Live Alive. And even though it's going to be a 25 hour experience or whatever, each vignette is so different that it feels like a compendium of different experiences. And I keep hearing that Undertale took inspiration from this game to do what it did. I've never played Undertale, but if that's true, I do want to play it. But I know, not Triangle Strategy, but the one that came before, Octopath Traveler, did the vignette thing in a similar way to this. And now I'm much more interested to go back and try that game, which fits into the pixel art 2D experience that I all of a sudden just fucking craving. just the writing, the story, it's all good. So I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying Live Alive. And if you are, I don't know, on the fence, take a look at some reviews and see what the critics are saying, watch some gameplay and such, but it's great. I think it's Switch exclusive right now. I hope it comes to PC eventually, so my friends who play exclusively on PC can check it out. But boy, it's a game, and it's so far so good. Another game that I picked up this week that I did not think I would pick up. It was barely on my radar. I'd heard some people talking about it. It's Multiversus. It was in closed beta. Now it's in open beta. And, I don't need a Smash clone when I have Smash, and I love Smash, and I can play Smash. But there was this character on the loading screen that when I see it in press or marketing or whatever, I'd think, I know that character. And then I just would move on and not think too much about it. And it happened again. I'd think a little more about it. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then I was listening to, I don't know, some podcast, walking around the neighborhood, my nightly exercise. And they mentioned Arya Stark, and I just fucking stopped. It's like, what? And they're talking about it in the context of Multiversus, and I was like, holy shit, that character is Arya Stark. And I'm just such a huge Game of Thrones fan, or a Song of Ice and Fire fan, really. That was it. I was like, I want to play as Arya Stark. So I load up Multiversus and realize that Arya Stark's not unlocked. It's a free-to-play game, so I've got to grind out the gold to get Arya Stark. It's like 3,000 gold, and the first night that I played, the only night that I've played so far, I grinded out 2,500 gold in probably 45 minutes to an hour, just playing as Wonder Woman, playing a bunch of 2-on-2 matches and 1-on-1 matches, and I started having a really good time with the game. And I was like, oh shit, I just bumblefucked my way into a multiplayer game that I'm enjoying. It's I'm looking forward to playing it a little more tonight, probably to unlock Arya all the way. It's like Smash. It has similar controls to Smash. Is a platform brawler, so you're knocking people off the platform. It's a little slower than Smash. It's a little more forgiving than Smash. It's a little more accessible than Smash because of those things. And boy, it was just a hell of a lot of fun. And Multiversus, the concept is it's basically the Warner Brothers multiverse. There's Batman, there's Wonder Woman, there's Superman, there's Steven Universe, there's Game of Thrones, obviously, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Tasmanian Devil, a couple of other things I can't remember right now that are just like, boy, you have like a deep bench of IP that you can pull into this game, and people seem to be really liking it, and I could imagine them creating. I mean, they've got to have a fucking roadmap of what characters they want to bring in. Oh, LeBron James is there from fucking Looney Tunes, or not fucking Looney Tunes, Space Jam 2, which is fucking bizarre, but just kind of on brand for this game. And boy, I mean, I was just pure fun, simple to pick up, probably hard to master, but I was doing pretty well actually, which helped grinding the gold. Obviously, you can buy a founder's pack and whatever else and kind of unlock most characters. Shaggy's in it. It has a battle pass right now. It's a small battle pass because they're just starting, but it's free, so it's worth a look. But man, if you're itching for Smash and you don't have a Nintendo console, this might be one to pick up. And then, other than that, the other thing I'm playing this week is with my daughter, Windwaker, which, as always, I mean, it's just fucking great. Windwaker is so good. And my daughter is having more dexterity and facility with the control pad and is able to move Link around and jump and hit the leaf and float, do a few things all in, quick succession with the buttons to get Link to do the things she wants him to do. The puzzles and stuff are... to do them are still challenging, but to understand what to do, my daughter knows what to do and tells me what to do, and just laughs her ass off when I fail at it. But it's so interesting. I don't know if it's interesting, but sometimes in adventure games, specifically, think like Grim Fandango or something like that. But even this feels like Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker feels like a adventure game plus. There's some obtuse fucking puzzles to solve. And the first time we played through, there's a save file from 2 years ago. We played in the summer of 2020 when the pandemic first hit, and we, jumped in. to this game. This is really the first video game she ever saw, and I don't know why I introduced her to Windwaker. I think it was because of the cartoony graphics. I don't know, but she just is in love with it. But this time, because I've done the puzzles, even though it was a couple of years ago, like everything makes way more sense now. Like I've got the Zelda logic in my head a little more, so I know to look up past the limits of my camera to find that ledge to hook shot onto, or the grappling hook onto to swing across something. The different places to look. So I'm getting through the temples a lot more quickly than before, and she remembers things as well. Getting through the battles a lot more quickly. The camera controls, I remember talking a couple years ago about really like being annoyed with the camera controls and how those were just moving in and out in a way that was not ideal for keeping track of where the hell Link was. And when I was able to find him, I was not facing the right direction or whatever. So what I was able to do was realize the mistakes that I made previously, which is nice because I could orient the camera correctly by, for example, the second boss in Forest Haven. The second boss in the game, which is in Forest Haven, is like this flower thing that's hanging from the ceiling. And you'd use the boomerang to cut the rope and do it several times until you cut all the rope so the thing falls down. Well, my problem was the first time I would shoot and run, and then I would keep running to then shoot the second, hit the boomerang button again to throw the boomerang, but I'd be facing the way I was running. So when I hit the boomerang button again, I would just be trying to boomerang the fucking wall and have to like slowly pan the camera across to get back to where I'm supposed to be going. So this time I figured out how to do that more effectively, which is kind of stop, realize where I'm facing, face the right way, and do it again. So it's kind of like a bit of it wasn't as fluid as I would like it, but it got the job done way better than last time. And I'm way less frustrated with the camera in Windwaker this time. So just having a blast going through Windwaker. We've just gotten the second pearl, and we're going to find Jaboon, talk to the pirates in Windfall Island, talk to Tetra, and kind of figure out where to get how to get back and talk to Jaboon. And then the next thing will be to place the pearls, obviously. So just enjoying the game, looking forward to more of it. Still, of course, not looking forward to the Triforce pieces, the Triforce quest. I know that it's better in this version than the GameCube version, but I still find it annoying. I think, though, this time, as I move toward, getting those pieces, it'll feel less obtuse than last time. So it might feel better. So I'm really, really, really enjoying that. Really excited to move through that with my daughter. And then that's pretty much covers what I've been playing this week, which has been a lot of fun. So I'm going to end there and finish the podcast with a very silly thing that I was thinking on my walk tonight. What could I do tonight on the podcast that'd be different, something that I wouldn't do when Anthony's here because it's just dumb. And I'm just it's called Yay or Nay. I'm just gonna name things and say yay or nay to the thing, just for the fuck of it. I don't really know why. For example, Wind Waker, yay. Ubisoft, nay. Unionizing in the gaming industry, yay. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, yay. Assassin's Creed Origins, nay. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, nay. Gaming on remote play, PS4 to PS5 on your phone, yay. Well, speaking of that, I did that last night. The Backbone was I think maybe was released, or at least was announced for PS remote play. So I wanted to see if my Wi-Fi at home could handle remote play, because when I did it before, it was kind of herky-jerky. So I did Persona 5, which was a good one to do on remote play, because there's not Twitch gaming involved. And, fucking touchscreen with a joystick and whatever sucks. But it worked really well, so I might pick up the Backbone so I could do some remote play, which is, I don't know, maybe silly, but advantageous in that my TV's so far away from me. It's like 25 feet away from me. That it's hard to read sometimes. So reading intensive games like Persona 5, I tend to avoid because I'm just too far away on my couch to read it. So having it on my phone, treating it like a mini Switch feels good. So I might do that. in the near future. Plus that backbone it looks good. I don't know. And I think you can use it with Apple Arcade and other things too. So I might pick that up and try some remote play at home. Anyway, yay or nay. That's kind of how it works. So just thinking through things in gaming that are interesting and things that I don't like. For example, Vampire Survivors, yay. Playing on the Switch, yay. Live Alive, yay. Game Pass, yay. Those kind of things. So just fun to think about every once in a while. Anyway, this has been episode 348 of Prof and Dev Play Games. It's a short one, 348, because Anthony is not here. And to be honest, there was not a lot of news in gaming this week. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been playing. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.